Thank you for joining me on my 2020 Rubicon JCR Vanguard bumper replacement. As you see here, I had the plastic OEM bumpers that I started with. It's a Rubicon, so it has the red hooks. And this video is just going to go through a couple tidbits. There's plenty of videos out there, so there's no reason for me to do a step-by-step instruction. But I did catch a few hints that I think would help people. For what it's worth, this flexible 8mm bit sure was handy to take those off. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of large bolt removals here. Funny thing is the video for JCR indicates those are 18 mil. That is not correct. They're 21 mil. But good news is I have a 21 mil available. Those are 21 mil as well. So here's a little tip. 21 millimeters coming out. This is a great tool to get her done. Impact wrench, and I just compounded a couple extensions, both of which are I'm going to just pop it off so you see. They have just a little bit of give on each one, allowing me to curve around the brackets. You can see where I trashed my socket a little bit, but no biggie. That's what they're meant for. For what it's worth, I could not find the metric size for those nuts, but it's a 9/32 if you have such a socket. That popped them right off. 14 screws total. 25 of these little screws out. The only socket I found that actually works for them is there's one right there, is a 9/32. I'm not sure what that is. This is a millimeter equivalent, but it's 9/32. And then you just pop off these little white things here to get the end caps off, and you'll get to the last remaining 2 screws. Okay, wiring harness is finally out, and I did label both the sensors for their location. And I suspect they're not sensor sensitive on which one goes where, more so cord sensitive. So I labeled P for passenger and the other side B for driver, so this way I don't mess that up. I'm going to go ahead and put this bumper back together. After 25 to 30 little screws, this whole thing's back together. If I can offer any advice, be sure to remember how you took it apart. Order of operations. You put the side panels on first, get these screwed in before you put on these brackets. That would help you. Other than that, wires are out and we're looking good. Okay, so we have some rigid lights that'll be going in. These are spots. I think I prefer the spots for long distance over floods. So we're just gonna go ahead and get the brackets on those and get those installed. We got ourselves our rigid lights in. That was a pretty good deal. I tried to get them nice and square at the bottom of the bumper. And let's see if I can show you. I'm gonna say they're okay. I mean, I think they'll look better once they're on the ride. Let's make our way over to the Jeep. Looks off the make it without it. Let's go ahead and get the bumper in. And according to the video, we had to put this little piece right here in the frame. Okay, so the video indicates to use these new bolts, and I'm a fan of anti-seize lubricant. So these new bolts are 22 millimeter, whereas the originals were 21. So luckily I have a 22 millimeter as well. And we'll go ahead and get this mounted. This is on the driver's side in the existing Rubicon screw holes. You can see the new bolts are fitting in there just fine on the side, but when I get down to the bottom, we definitely have some alignment issues. So it was the same for both holes. Using a Dremel, I was able to elongate it just enough to get this thing in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and lube it up and try to get her to squeeze in. I do have these 2 bolts tight now, trying to pull the bumper over as tight as I can, and simply isn't giving me any freedom to move it. So we have her up and running. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously still have the stock tire. I didn't get the tire carrier yet, so I'll do a quick video once the tire carrier comes in. Unfortunately, there is a little chip in there from the shipping. You see it right here in the corner. But that's life. It's no big deal. Yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty good. You know, with the exception of the modifications I had to do in the hole I'm not a big fan of this gaping space up here. Looks like it's gonna capture mud up in this space here. So I'll see what I can do about that. Otherwise, yeah, she's looking pretty good. Thank you for taking some time to check out this quick 5-minute video on the JCR rear bumper. I additionally have videos for the JCR front bumper as well as the JCR tire carrier, in which I've done major modification in getting the JCR tire carrier to actually work with the JL better. So when you have some time, check out those videos as well. Thank you much.